Hello, my name is Mandy. I am with Scott Leroy Marketing, and today's class is the Consumer Mobile App class. So, the KW Consumer App is something that your consumers, your clients, your contacts can actually use to search for homes, save searches, look for neighborhood information and snapshots of the market. Also, a seller can use your app. If you're not familiar with that, I'll show you the tools that they also have within this consumer app to use. And for you, the agent, it gives you Big Brother access. As soon as that consumer creates their own account on your app, you will actually be able to see every listing they view, everyone they favorite, and that consumer can also reach out to you to try to schedule a showing and also ask questions. So there is a lot of value here within this app. So I'm going to start the class off at first showing you from the mobile view so that you can see everything that a consumer can do through the app. And then we'll wrap up at the end of class showing you from like a desktop view in Command as an agent, what you get to see and what you actually have the ability to create or personalize for that consumer. Okay. And so if you're here with me live, drop those questions in the chat as I go through. I'll try to get them answered for you in real time. If not, I'll stay a couple minutes after and get those answered. And if you're watching this back on recording, you can always reach out to us at support@scottleroymarketing.com. So let's first start talking about how to download your app for one, right? That does seem to be a pain point sometimes for agents and their consumers. So towards the end of class, I will show you how to find your branded KW app link within your Command account. But right here on your mobile device, you can always have your app link right at your fingertips to share, even if you don't have the app downloaded just yet. You can find it in the Command mobile app. So, right here on the top left hand corner of your screen, you will see a red background, white KW. That's the Command mobile app. So, I'm going to touch that and open up the Command Mobile app. And at the top left-hand corner where you see our name, Scott Leroy Marketing, if you touch that on your own Command app, you will see the Share My KW app link right there towards the bottom of that drop down. This is where you can share that app link on the fly with your consumers. And so it is always at your fingertips if you need it. Okay. That's where you would get it from. You also can always just take that same KW app link and put it into a browser, like a web browser. And as long as you are on an app-based device like mobile phone, iPad, things like that, it should prompt you to go ahead and download that app from on your device and it be branded to the agent. Okay. I'm going to show you the long way. I'm going to show you how to find the app in the App Store and actually get it branded to you. That way, in case that ever comes up or arises, you will know how to do that. Okay. So let's go ahead and open our App Store. You can see that icon there at the top of our screen. And when you go into your App Store, you can choose the search feature in the bottom right-hand corner. And we're going to use the search bar across the top and simply type in KW and hit search. You'll notice right here, second option that came up, that is the KW Consumer Mobile App. They're starting to term it just as the KW app now. So you may see it written that way as well. It also used to say the buy and sell app. So if you're familiar with any of those terms, this is that. So white background, red KW letters. This is the one that your consumers would use. You may have an option over to the right that would be in blue that says either get or open. Get would be if you've never downloaded it before. Open would be if you've already had it downloaded on your device and it would simply open it. Or you may see the little cloud like on mine, which means I had it previously, deleted it, and I'm just going to download it from my cloud. Okay. So either way, you can go ahead and touch the blue option to the right to begin downloading the app on your phone or open it. Once it's done downloading, now we see our open option and we'll go ahead and click open. This brings us to the KW app. You'll notice it does prompt us a couple of times for things. You would just make your choices, okay? And this is the screen. This is the screen for the consumer mobile app. It's going to give you an option to sign up or log in. It's important to remember this will only see you as a consumer. It does not see you as an agent. This is not going to use your same logins as anything that you have with KW already. It does not take your command logins. It does not take your KW email logins. Okay. This is going to be completely separate. Highly recommend going ahead and signing up on your app. And that way, you know what a consumer gets to see and experience. For right now, I'm going to touch the skip for now option to log in. I want to show you where to check and see if the app is branded to you first. So I'm going to click skip for now. Notice towards the bottom, I don't know if you can see it because it is teeny, but there is a little magnifying glass at the very bottom and there's a white line right below it. That's just letting you know what tab you are on. We're going to mosey over to the little person to the far right. You can see the white bar is now under that little person, so you can tell what tab we're on. And this is what used to be called like the more option or the settings option within your app. They now just identify it with the little person icon. If this was branded to you as an agent already, you would see your photo and your name at the top where it currently says find a local KW agent. Okay. So if it was branded to you already, if you had clicked it, I don't think that's a word, excuse me. So clicked on your branded app link, you should already see yourself listed right here. If not, it's 100% okay to brand it to you. You would simply touch that find a local KW agent option and begin typing in your name right here. You should populate in a drop-down menu and be able to choose yourself right there. Okay, so I'm going to use an example really quick. We'll look for an agent, touch on his name, see the connect with me at the bottom. That's where you can go ahead and choose connect with me, and it should brand this app to that particular agent. It may also prompt again, just like it did here, to go ahead and sign up or log in. If the consumer does not have an account already, they can click sign up and it will prompt them to enter their email and their first and last name. They also now have shortcuts you can see at the bottom where they can log in with other platforms like Google, Apple, and Facebook, whichever they prefer. Something neat about this is if this consumer is already in your command contacts and they use the same primary email address that you already have for them, then it will go ahead and update that existing contact in your command database with their information. If you have that contact in your command database and the consumer uses a different email address to create their own account than what you currently have in command, it may create a duplicate contact for them. Okay. Because it's not linked to the same primary email address. I will show you later when we get into command which one that you want to make sure you use. There will be a little tiny green check mark beside it indicating that that is the one linked to their consumer app account. And in that case, that's definitely the one that you want to save and use. Okay. And you can just use the merge feature in command to merge those contacts together. So from right here, you can go ahead and create that new consumer account. Again, highly recommend that for agents. If you don't already have one, go ahead and create it for yourself. And that way you get to see all the features available to you in the app. And also, um, thank you. I see that question in the chat. So This is not an SLM app, actually. This is your KW consumer app. So if you're in the Samsung Play Store, go ahead and search for KW in the App Store. Okay, KW, and it should pull up a white background with red KW and let you download the app. Okay, let me know if you have any trouble with that. All right. So I'm actually going to click the back arrow on the top left and go back out, and I'm just going to log in with my existing consumer account. Give me just a moment. All right. Long passwords are great for security, but man, they take forever to type in. Just take a second. All right. Now, what we just did is we just logged in to our consumer account, and our app is having an issue. Give me just a second. See if we can bring that back. Tech in real time, guys. Welcome to it. All right, so give me just a second. I'm going to toggle back and forth and see if we can bring it back to life. If not, I'll download it and open it again. Here we go. All right, let me make sure it's got me signed in. Okay, good. All right, so let's go back to the dashboard and start fresh since I just had to flip screens. I want to make sure that you're able to be familiar with where exactly I am. Okay, so this is the home screen on the mobile device. Okay, Crystal, no, this is not from a desktop. This is actually a mobile phone view. And so I'm going to show you the desktop command version later this afternoon or later in the class, actually. So right here, I just want you to see this command mobile app and consumer mobile app side by side. See how the command one is red in the background and the KW is white on the background? That lets you know which one is which, okay? So the one we're working in today is going to be that white background with the red KW. So I'm going to go ahead and touch that on my screen to open it back up. We just logged into the app, okay? This makes it to where the features are now available. You saw me a little while ago click skip for now. You can go into the app that way, but almost every single option is going to say sign in, log in, that kind of option, and not allow you to save anything that you're working on or access all the features. So, okay. The consumer now has your app. They've created their account. And now, from their point of view, I'm actually going to show you from the seller's options here what all they can do in your app. So, see towards the top of your screen, you can see the buy/rent option or the My Home option. The My Home option is the seller tools. So, I'm going to touch that. It looks like we have a previous property, so I'm going to trash can that really quick so that you can see what it looks like fresh and brand new. So this is what a seller would see when they click on My Home. At the very top option, you can see that they can access their home valuation. This is similar to what you see on your KW site where it's What's My Home Worth page. Same here. All we would do is click the Enter Address button. So I'm going to touch that on your screen and enter your home address. You can see different options populating at the bottom here. You can just choose one from the list. And now the particular address that we gave, that's funny. It actually has a Google picture. You can see that that is not a home of the address that we just chose. So it needs to get more information. So since it does not have enough data to offer a price bracket or the home valuation suggested price, we can go ahead now and send a message to the agent. See it down at the bottom? It pre-populated a message to the agent, and the consumer would just need to click send home info. So we're going to add some text just to let Mr. Billy know that this is a test only. And so now we're going to say send home info. So we'll just touch that button and it brings us back to the My Home tab. You'll notice the address saved at the top. The consumer does have the trash can there if they ever want to remove it. And then just below that, we have a home equity calculator. You can choose the Let's Go option right here, and that seller can jump in and enter information to look at their equity. And down at the bottom, it just gives a preview of that same home valuation information that we looked at just a few moments ago. Definitely recommend jumping in that if you would like to and going a little further. I will touch on the Let's Go Home Equity Calculator just to show you what they'll view here. And it gives them some fields to enter their information, including their mortgage balance, and to calculate it. And then down at the bottom, it gives them some education and FAQs. At the very bottom, you also have the option as a consumer to reach out again to the agent. Please know that as long as this app is branded to you, that all of these messages go to you. You, the agent, would receive a notification within your command and also be able to view the message within the contacts timeline in your command database. Okay. All right. And so moving back up to the top of our screen, we're going to click the back button. Again, we're on the My Home tab in the app, and that was what a seller can do within your app. Now let's move over to a buyer's point of view. I'm going to touch the Buy and Rent tab on the top left, and you can see some latest updates right here at the bottom of the page. Now, there's three different tabs there. See it, Collections, Saved Searches, and Neighborhoods. I'm going to demonstrate all of those to you, but we'll start out showing how the consumer can search on your app first. At the very bottom, you'll notice a magnifying glass. That is where they can search, so I'm going to touch that. And you'll see the map populate. Looks a little overwhelming, right? But let me show you the different features that are available right here, including some filter and sort options that are pretty great. Let's start at the top of the screen. They do have a search bar where they can enter a city, neighborhood, address, even a school district, and begin searching that way. That little arrow on the far right looks like a compass arrow. If they turn that on, if they touch it and choose to allow the location permissions to be on for this app, it will actually pull the information that is right around their immediate area based on their location. This is one of my favorite options. I actually used it a lot traveling. Whenever I drive through a place and you're just curious about the market there, or maybe you're considering buying a home there, you can always click that little location button in the top right and see the real estate right there in the area that you're in. It's pretty great. Also, I'm going to skip the filters and the save option for right now. Let's go a little lower and go down and look at that map. Do you see the hand on the top right in a little circle? You actually can draw a custom area on the map that you want to see the listings in. So I'm just going to touch that hand and draw any shape that you want. Maybe you want to stay on a particular side of a busy highway and you don't want to look at properties anywhere else. You can simply draw any shape on this map and pull listings that way as well. Down at the bottom, see where it says list option? This gives a little better view. Way down at the bottom of the screen, I saw Crystal shake her head no. Yeah. So the list down at the bottom, if we touch that, we can see the actual photos of the listing, gives a little better preview, and you can begin scrolling to see those listings instead of them being on a map view. It's a little easier. Do notice that as we're looking at a preview of these listings, it does give open house preview at the top left of the corner. You'll see the price of the listing, the quick stats basics, bedroom, bath, square footage, and the land. You'll also see their address. And you do see a little teeny weeny preview for compliance reasons. You'll see who is actually holding that listing. Now, notice that we have dots along the bottom of the photo. Here, from this viewing, we don't have to click into the listing to see the first few photos. You can scroll through like so and see the first few photos. Okay? That heart right there on the right, if we were to click that, that means that you favorite that listing. See the little pop-up at the bottom that says added to my favorites? This is the way a consumer can actually add to their own collection and keep an eye on that particular property. A collection means just basically what the name is, collection of properties, but the consumer has to manually add and remove homes from the collection. If that home is added to their collection, meaning that little heart is colored in red, no matter what status that listing is on the market, even if it sells, they will be able to keep an eye on that particular listing in their collection. Okay, it's pretty great. Now, let's move on up to the filters and sort options towards the top of the screen, and I'll show you some different options they have here. To sort is to sort the list that we already have. So I'm going to touch that first and show you the options. You can choose either high to low or low to high. Notice that the option that is selected is filled in navy blue in the back. So if I want to say, let's look at low to high, I can simply touch that and notice how it is now filled in with the dark, okay? And then the color ring indicates which one is selected. So why don't we look at days on site, low to high. So I'll choose days on site and click apply. That sorts through the list of properties that we already have pulled up. You can see on the top right, it says 38 results found, and then you can begin previewing them. Now let's look at the filters at the top left. This is probably one of my favorite things about this. It has a gazillion filters. So the consumer really has some good choices here. Now just keep in mind, the more filters you set, the less results are going to populate, and sometimes you can rule out a good option if you use too many filters. So use your own discretion. But up here at the top, you can see that they can actually choose for sale properties, for rent properties, or maybe look at sold properties. So this would be another great tool for maybe a current property owner that's not necessarily looking just yet, but they're interested in their market. Well, they need your app too because they can come in here and look at the sold properties to keep an eye on their current market value, right? So we'll just click back over to for sale and just go down through a couple of these fields just to show you how to maneuver them. Like when you see price range, notice it says no min, no max. You can touch those fields and begin entering a value if you would like, or the slide scale that's right below it, you can just touch the circle and drag and drop. Okay? So you choose whichever you would like to do. Coming on down a little bit for the bedrooms and the bathrooms, you can choose how many you would like. Notice it gives you an option for the plus. So you're open to anything with 3+ bedrooms or 3+ bathrooms, but you do have an exact match option right there. If a person is just very determined that they know exactly what they don't want any more or any less, you can choose exact match. It takes away the plus sign in the option and will only show them results for that exact setting. Okay. Coming on down, this is just a different type of field here under property type. It gives you bubbles to choose. And again, when you select them, it just darkens them so you'll know which ones you've chosen. Okay. Coming on down, pretty much the other fields are all the options that we just showed. You do see add keywords. That's probably the field that I would stay away from the most. Just my opinion, because again, more filters you set, more likely you are to rule out a great listing, and you're relying on what that agent put in to the MLS for their listing to match exactly what you're looking for. So while it may help in some cases, it may hurt in others. So just use your discretion on what you'd like to put there. At the very bottom, I just want to point out the two specific options down here, open house or price reduced. Okay. So open house, again, maybe you have somebody in your database that says, no, I'm not looking to buy or sell, but man, I love houses. Maybe you're actually seeing talent in them for another agent that would be great in your downline to grow your profit share. So maybe you'd want to set them up on your app and on a saved search so that they can look at just open houses, so they can go and visit their local community and the local open houses when you have them. That's an option for this. You can just simply toggle that on. Okay. And price reduced. That's great for anybody looking for a good investment or maybe looking for something that just came into their price bracket. You can choose that as well. Right here, they can either choose show results at the bottom right, or maybe this is the criteria they want to continue seeing houses in. If they choose the save search option at the top right, this will save this search for them. And whenever they come to open their app, they will get to see updates of new listings that have populated that meet their criteria. I'm going to go ahead and touch Save Search here and show you what it will give you the option to do. You can name this search. So we'll go ahead and name it. I think it's always a good idea to keep either the zip code or um, a city or state in the name just to help you remember which specific search it is, but they can name it whatever they want and just click save. You'll see save search at the very bottom, little banner of success, right? Knowing that whenever I come on my app now, I will be able to see homes coming on and off the market. A saved search will update automatically, okay? Listings as they come on the market that meet that criteria will show on their app. Okay. It's unlike a collection where they have to favorite or unfavorite the houses and they get to keep an eye on the house through the whole process. Save searches will update as the market updates. So we'll just go ahead and click results at the bottom right to show us the listings that we just filtered to see. Okay. Notice we do also have that saved button right here at the top as well, where if they were viewing or using the sort options just from this screen, they can still save their search here as well. They did not have to jump into the filters to be able to save. Okay. And that's how a consumer would be able to come on your app, search for properties, and even create their own saved searches. Okay. Meanwhile, on the back end, all of this data is going in to your command app or command desktop version, and I will show you how to find all of that towards the end of class. Now that we've looked how a consumer can search and create a saved search on their own, let's go ahead and click on one of these listings so that we can see a little more detail and show you some more consumer options. I'm just going to select one of the listings by tapping on it. And this should look really similar to your KW agent site when you're looking at a listing, right? Notice that our photos at the top have now expanded, one of 40, so we can continue to sit here and scroll through all the photos if we would like. Or you can tap the photos and see thumbnails. You can tap one of the photos again and it will show up even larger. I'm going to click the back button and show you a couple of other details here. If a virtual tour has been added to the MLS, notice at the top center we have a virtual tour option. And on the top right, we have a street view right here within the app that we can actually see the Google Street View. Okay. Going to click back on photos. The top two other options at the right, there is an arrow. The consumer can share this listing right from your app. The heart is so that they can add this listing to their collections, to their favorites. We'll go ahead and tap the heart so I can show you where it will populate later. At the bottom, notice that the consumer has two options, request a tour or contact the agent directly. This is how they can reach out to you. I'm going to choose the back arrow and show you another place where they're prompted to do the same things. So we'll go back away from the photos and back into the listing here. Going to scroll down a little bit so you can see some of the information. Again, notice we have the heart option and the share option again. have property details. Your information as an agent is listed right here. And they also have those same two options, get in touch and request a tour. So they can see the pre-populated message that's already entered right here, or they can put their cursor here and begin typing anything that they want. We'll say test only. And then they can click get in touch. They get a prompt on the consumer side that says, thank you, your form has been submitted. Someone will contact you shortly. You, as the agent, just got a notification on your Command desktop and your Command mobile if you have them turned on. And you also will have more details about their message within that notification and the contact's timeline, okay, within your Command database. I'm going to show you that shortly. The request a tour button, we'll go ahead and touch that to show you what it looks like. So the consumer will see options. They can choose the calendar to pick the date that they would like to go see. And notice it has this duplicated in several fields. So they can choose 3 different days, 3 different times of day, morning, afternoon, or evening, for each different choice. Okay, just to give you some options. So we'll go ahead and touch the calendar in the top right-hand corner, show you what the calendar looks like. They can come in and pick the day that they want to go see the home and click OK. They can select the time of day. When you touch it, see how it highlights it in color versus gray. We'll choose the calendar on the second option just to give a second choice here. Slide it, pick the day, click OK, and we'll choose a different time frame for that day. Coming on down, how would you like your tour? They can choose in person or live video. So in person, it gives you a pop-up about your health and safety. On the top right, you can choose live video. If you choose live video, it actually gives you different options and different platforms you can choose. So you would just choose as a consumer, whichever one you prefer. Notice the one that is selected will be colored. The one you don't select will be grayed out. And then you can supply additional information. The consumer can enter their phone number here and also ask an additional question. See if it'll actually take this. Usually it gets us for trying to put in fake phone numbers. All right. And so then add an additional message if you want, and the consumer will be prompted to click both of these disclaimers down at the bottom just to agree to the terms of use and that a Keller Williams agent may be reaching out to them. Okay. Once those boxes are selected, notice now they are color highlighted, and then they can choose request tour at the bottom of their screen. They will get a thank you screen as the consumer, but you, the agent, will now have just gotten another notification within your Command or Command mobile app, and you'll have additional information. Everything that they just filled out on that form will be available to see within your Command. Okay? Going to touch away from the thank you and just scroll a little further on the listing just to show you all the data that is available here. It's the same information that you would currently see if you were looking on your KW agent site. The mortgage calculator is available here with interactive fields where they can put their cursor and adjust their mortgage calculator to see. You see Keller Home Loans, Keller Covered links. By the way, those are optional. You can turn those off within your command settings if you do not want those type of links to show on your listings. Maybe there's a different lender you work with or a different insurance agency. You can have those turned off. It shows price and tax history. And coming on down at the very bottom, it will show similar properties around that location. Going a little bit further, and I'm looking for our neighborhood information. I think I passed it. Let's go back up. I want you to see the neighborhood. Where's our little neighborhood guy? Ah, okay. Well, This little guy must not be in a specific neighborhood because there's not a neighborhood listed. Typically, you see a neighborhood. I'm just going to scroll down one more time just to make sure I didn't pass it, guys. Just a second. Typically, you will see a neighborhood available on here. Nope. So he must not be in a specific, like, defined neighborhood. So I don't have one to follow. I'm actually going to jump into one of these other listings and see if I can locate a neighborhood. I want to be able to show you what a neighborhood looks like on here because you can choose to follow the neighborhood if it is listed. There we go. Okay, so this little listing guy, see what this looks like? It says explore and has the name of the neighborhood. The consumer now has the option to follow that neighborhood. They can click the left button to plus follow. Notice it is now grayed in or darkened in. So now they're following that neighborhood. They will have a quick link on the home page of your app to where they can actually quickly go and view that neighborhood and keep up with the market stats for it. Okay. On the right hand side, we also have a button that says Go to Neighborhood. If I were to click that, it would open more information about the neighborhood, but I can actually just scroll down right here and look at Market Snapshot, see nearby schools, a transit and commute. Please also know that see where it says add a place towards the bottom? The consumer can add a place like place of work, school, maybe family, a place of worship, whatever it is for them that is important in that community. They can enter that place right here and it will show them how far the commute is from this listing to the important place to them, either by driving, biking, or walking. So, great little handy thing right there, and it will keep those places saved within their app. So no matter what listing they're looking at, it will show them the commute difference. Okay? All right. That is it for the listing information. That's how they can reach out to you to schedule a tour, to ask a question. We also covered how to follow a neighborhood as well. And so now I'm actually going to go back to the home screen of the app. I'm going to touch the back button at the top, back again because I was in two listings. And so now here we are within our app. Let's look at the tabs across the very bottom. And I'm just going to show you what each one is for the consumer to give you some general orientation of the app, okay? So we're going to touch the home button on the far left. Now that we've gone in and favorited some homes and created a saved search, now we have information here underneath latest updates. See where it says collections? Those listings are now showing there that we put a heart on to add as our favorites. Those listings will stay here under the collections tab until the consumer decides to remove them. They would do that by just clicking on the heart again to unfavorite them. But they can keep an eye on it, whether it's on the market or off. They also have buttons along underneath collections. Notice it says all, new, open house. Maybe want to see homes that have had a price change or even just a status change. Okay. And it will show the properties within their collections that have had any of those. The saved searches tab, let's touch on that. And so on the saved searches, remember when we were on the search option and chose to set our criteria for 3 bedroom, 3 bath? These are all the listings that would populate for this. If we scroll down just a hair, you can click view all saved searches and it would take us right back to the similar view that we were just looking at where it would have listing after listing and you can just scroll through and see all of those. Notice we also have those bubble filters available here as well. So all new will let them see all the new homes on the market. Look, that one's only 1 hour old right there. So you would be able to see all the new listings that meet their search criteria, open houses, price change, and also status change. And the last tab is neighborhoods. On the right, I'm going to touch that. And this would show us our neighborhoods that we have followed. Scroll down just a little so you can see now our sort bubbles are the names of the neighborhoods that we have favorited or followed. Excuse me, let me use the right word. And so you can simply click on which neighborhood you want to see the market stats on, all from the home screen of the app. Scroll down and look at the market stats. You can even see a 6-month comparison right here. And they do have that option to explore the neighborhood again towards the middle of your screen there if they want to see more information. And it will still show them current listings within that neighborhood as well if they want to scroll through. The option to view all neighborhoods at the very, very bottom. If they want to jump into a full screen of that instead of just being on the home screen of the app, they do have that choice too. Okay. Excuse me, I had to clear my throat. So at the bottom tabs again, just for general navigation, we've already gone to our magnifying glass, which was the search screen. Now let's touch on the heart to show the favorites. This is essentially what they saw on their same home screen. Notice we have the three options across the top. It's just another way that they can come and look right at their collection save searches or their neighborhoods if they want to, instead of being on the home screen. Okay. And the little person which we chose earlier, I'll just click on that again just to remind you that this is where your settings are. Notice in the top right hand corner, they do have an option for a cogwheel right here. Their notifications are also below that, right underneath the agent information. Both the cogwheel and that notifications tab right there are something that maybe the consumer would want to look at and make sure that it's set up the way that they want. They can always come to this notifications option right here and choose to toggle on either push notifications or even email notifications. And notice like the second saved search that we have set up right here, that they can choose to receive email for it and choose how often they want to receive the emails. Okay. All right. So we'll choose the back button. That is it from a consumer view. I'm going to swap screens really quick so that I can show you from an agent's point of view. Okay. So give me just a moment to make that change. Any questions at all so far? Just drop those in the chat. I saw a couple of questions and now we'll circle back to those guys. Just gonna share my screen here. All right. Bear with me just a moment. Okay. Just working from two devices, guys. I want to make sure that I'm not getting y'all with an echo if I've got a mic turned on one of device and not the other. All right, so as long as if nobody's hearing an echo, we should all be good. But if you're starting to hear me do an echo, somebody please throw that in the chat so that I can fix it for you. All right, and so right here on this screen, hopefully you can all now see the command login screen like you would on a desktop. And from here, we're going to go ahead and log in and look at what an agent can see from your side. Give me just a second. There we go. Just getting the chat up so I can see if you guys drop questions. All right. So we'll go ahead and log into Command here. Let me zoom it in a little bit so you can see it better. All right. And so now that we're in Command, I want to very first show you how to find your KW app link just so you know where it is within a Command desktop version. It lives over here on the left-hand side under Websites tab. Go to Settings and scroll down. Your app URL settings are right here, and this is your branded app link. It is grayed out because you cannot personalize it. It is a set of numbers and letters that are specific to you, and you can't change that at this time. But you can come right here and choose copy. And that way you can either add it on some marketing that you would like to do. Just know if you ever drop that link into like a web browser, like we're on here, like on a desktop, if I come up here and drop that in, it's going to come to what looks like a generic landing page. Okay. It's not made for desktop. That link is to prompt a consumer to actually download the app. It's made for like an app-based device. So copy it, share it on your phone, your iPad, things like that. A great another way to share of sharing your app link is by using a QR code. If you need any help creating a QR code for your app link, that's another great way to share it. That way you know that the consumer is using a mobile device to actually access it and will be correctly prompted to download your branded app. If you're set up by us here at Scott Leroy Marketing, you probably already have that. We usually give those when we first set you up. But just let us know if you need help creating those and we can take a look for you. And now I also want to show you your KW agent site and how a consumer can actually log into it. The same account that a consumer uses to log into your KW consumer mobile app will also work on your KW agent site so that they can use it on a desktop version. So I'm just going to another tab up here at the top and we will go to our KW agent site here. And now that we're here, let me zoom it in. Look right here at the top right, you have a login feature. So you can simply click login and the consumer will be prompted to either sign up or log in. So they can choose sign up like we saw before, and they'll be prompted first name, last name, email, and click next, or they can log in with these particular platforms, or click login and use their consumer logins that we had before. So we'll go ahead and add those in here just a second and log in just to show you what it looks like on your KW agent site. Voila. All right. And so now at the top right, notice this is still a branded site to you. It's your KW agent site, but now the consumer will see their initials in the top right-hand corner. And when they click those, they have those options that they had on your app to view their saved information. So we'll go ahead and click that. There we go. And so now notice the three options we had before on the app. They can view their collections, saved searches, and neighborhoods, all from right here on a desktop version. Okay. And so just know that their login for your consumer app will also work on your KW agent site. When that consumer is logged into either one of those places, you will be able to track every listing they view, every neighborhood they follow, every home that they favorite, and you will also get notifications as they reach out to you with a question or to schedule a showing. Okay. Also, if they click on their name on the top right, they will also have the options for their notifications and account settings from right here. And they can also reach out to connect with you, their agent, as well. You will be the only agent that shows for every single listing, just like it normally does on your KW agent site. The difference is when they're logged in, they'll not only be able to see all of their saved information, but it will allow it to be tracked by you so that you can see what they're favoriting and what they're liking. Okay. All right. And so that is a view from your KW agent site. I'm actually going to go back in to our command. So I'm going to close this tab and go back to home in command. And from here, I want to show you how you can go to your contacts in command and find the ones that have or have not registered for your app. So let's go ahead and touch on the contacts tab on the top left. Now, I'm not going to have a contact to actually show you the little green arrow on since this is a demo account. They don't have a branded app to share. But when a consumer has actually connected by registering an account on either your app or your KW site, they would have a tiny green check mark in a circle right here beside their name. That's an indicator to you that they have registered on your site or your app. Another way to tell is to use your filters. Let me minimize some of the ones here. And the way that the filters see it is agent site connection. So we'll choose to expand that, and you can see any contacts that are currently connected on your agent site. This is also for your app. Okay. So if they have registered, that means they're connected. You would choose this filter and you would choose apply at the bottom, and it would show you the contacts that have already registered on your app. If you are looking for people that have not registered on your app, choose not connected and choose apply. This will allow you to see everybody in your database that needs your app. What a great conversation starter. You're coming from contribution, being able to give them free value, and everybody needs it. Even if they're a buyer, a seller, or a tire kicker, everybody has something in that app that would be of value to them, whether it be neighborhood information, home equity calculator, or just being able to peruse any open houses that would be in their neighborhood. Okay. And so, yes, Crystal, it is possible to set up a smart plan with connected customers that have registered 100%. You could just use your filter right here to choose connected, click apply, and then once you see those contacts here that have connected for your app, you could just select all, and from the actions menu, choose to add to a smart plan right here if you already have that smart plan in your smart plans tab. Okay. There's also a smart plan out there in your smart plan library. That's a mouthful. Authored by KW that is called Promote My App. It is a smart plan that will help promote your app to your database. I just recommend going and previewing the steps and the language that is used in that app and making sure that it's something that you would want to use. Also, assign it to yourself first. Go through the smart plan yourself so that you'll see it from the consumer side to see if that's something you want to use. Okay. You can also build your own. Um, so right here, that is how you filter to see the contacts that have registered on your site. You're welcome, no problem. And so from right here now, I want to show you how you can click into one of your contacts and view their timeline to see the kind of data that you can track. And then I'm going to show you how you, the agent, can create saved searches and collections for your consumers right here from within Command. So since we do not have any contacts within our database that have registered on the site, I'm going just to click into the contact and show you where the information will be. It would be right here in the timeline. I'm going to show you an image of what it would look like. Here you go. So we'll zoom in a little bit. This is the timeline within that contact profile, and you can see what it will look like. When they've created a saved search in their app, you'll be able to see what they've named it right here. You also, anything that you're seeing in green is a hyperlink. So they actually created a collection by favoriting this particular property. Notice it has the little heart indicator letting you know what they did. And this is a hyperlink right here from within your command. You can click that and view the listing that they favorited. If you scroll down a little bit, you can also see their collections as they update them. They viewed it, updated it, viewed the listing. And this agent site registration down at the bottom, that is actually what it looks like as soon as they create their account on your site or on your app. So you'll get a notification about that as well. I'm going to minimize that image, remind you about your notification bell right here within your command desktop. This is where you will get notifications based on all of this information. So when they register on your site, you will get a notification. Let me show you an image of a sample there. This is what notifications would look like on Command Mobile, but they also look very similar on your Command Desktop as well. It will show you when they've registered on your site, and you can have a hyperlink right there to view the contact. And also, if they've reached out to you with a message, this is what it shows like, and you can click to view that property inquiry. It will take you to that contact, show you the timeline, and you can click to see the message that they sent you, and it'll show you that text right there in the timeline. And then also agent site notification. It just looks like once they register, you'll receive that notification just like at the top. Okay. That's how you would track the information right here in the timeline. So we have a couple of minutes left. Let me show you quickly where and how to create a saved search. Over here in the top right within the contact, you have the option to create a saved search. You would click create saved search for this contact. You can set the parameters for it. You can choose by city, neighborhood, zip code. You can even do custom and draw on the map, just like we could on the app by choosing the hand. Let me zoom in somewhere. Hold on, pick a place. Oops, it's back out. It zoomed in my screen. Hold on. It was supposed to zoom in the map and it zoomed in my entire screen. Save search, create search, find on map. They've changed that. Let's see, custom, draw on map. Let me zoom in first. So you used to have to hold in the control key to zoom this in, and apparently they have made changes. And so now you only have to zoom in with your mouse or the plus and minus right here. And so now we can click the hand to draw any shape we want, and click apply. And now you would set the criteria down here, whichever they want. You have less options than what they have within the app, just FYI. They do have more options, but you still have the open house and price reduced if you want to choose those, and click next. You name the saved search for them, and it will go to their primary email address, and you can choose if they get email notifications or not and the frequency. Please know that the consumer must have registered on your app or your site in order to receive these emails. In order for a saved search from your end, the agent, it has to be for somebody that has registered on your site or your app. Okay. If they have not, you can create the saved search and they'll get the initial email saying that you created the saved search for them, but they will not receive any of the follow-up emails. Okay. Go ahead and click create saved search. And now you have it here. You can come and edit or delete it. If they've created it themselves from the app, you will not have the ability to edit or delete it because they themselves created it and it's within their app and they can control that. We're going to go 2 minutes over, guys. I apologize. If you have to leave, just know the recording will be on YouTube within a few hours. I'm just going to show you really quick how to create a collection within Command. The saved search is where you set the criteria and they will get updates for anything that comes on the market that meets their criteria, and it's automatic and automatically emails them, right? If they choose not to have email notifications, they can always see it on the app itself. But a collection is one where the houses have to be hand-picked, right? Manually add houses, manually remove houses. You can do that right here within your listings tab in Command and go to collections at the top. Click create collection. And on the left-hand side, you can choose any area you want. You can choose multiple locations. Maybe you want to send them properties that cover multiple states, but are a certain type of house. You can come in here and set wherever you want to find information. So we'll just enter something here, some criteria on the left, and click apply. It will show us the listings for the criteria we set, and we can just choose the houses that we want to use in our collection. We can come back over here, choose a different area code or zip code, hit apply. Notice the properties we selected stay with us, and now we can choose some properties in another state. So you can add whichever properties you want as the agent, name your collection, and then come down here and click Create Collection. Now that you've handpicked those properties that you want to share with contacts, you actually have the option to share them with multiple contacts, not just one like a saved search, but multiple. So you can assign contacts, choose tags. Maybe it's a particular tag that you've created that you want to send the collection to. So you could choose your tag or select the people in the list, whichever you prefer to do. And once you have selected those, whichever you choose to do, let me unclick our tags here. I was trying to find a particular tag so we would have our little sample guys, but we'll just go with what's showing on our screen. You would simply click the contacts that you want to add and click assign. That would send this collection to those particular contacts, okay? And again, it's static. It's the properties that you've hand selected. You would have to come in here to your collection and choose to remove or add additional listings, okay? Come in here and choose to remove from collection, or you can add additional properties and add additional people you want to send it to. And that's it, guys. That's how you can do all of this from within your command as an agent and also the consumer's perspective of the consumer mobile app. If you have any questions at all from things that I've shown you today, or anything else for that matter, you can always reach out to us at support@scottleroymarketing.com. And if you're here with me live, definitely stay put and I can help get your questions answered if you have any. Thanks for watching.